Hi, this is Margaret Byrd, and welcome to the end of the summer here at Color Quest. I even have a sweater on. It is starting to change. So I'm actually getting ready to be gone for actually several months. And I need to do something with all of those flowers in my dye garden. I will have someone tending to it while I am traveling, but I'm going to harvest everything that's available today so that we can work on ice dyeing. We had ice dyed back in the Netherlands using hollyhock, and we got some really pretty subtle results. And I would like to try it now with all of the flowers that I have in my garden. I know that some of them are really good dye flowers. For example, scabiosa, amazing. And I'd like to see how they interact if I mix them all up together and see what ice and a slow melt will do in terms of capturing color onto silk. Let's bring silk back in today. So let's go down to the garden, pluck all of the flowers that are there, and put them in the freezer. So we've been doing a lot of fun stuff with the flowers in my garden. We've done some steam printing, we've done some hammer printing like last week, and this week I'd like to go ahead and see what we can do with a cold process, and that is with ice. Now, I don't have a ton of flowers, but one of the things that this is going to be great for also is encouraging there to be more bloom. So knowing that when you remove the blooms from your dye flowers, you welcome there to be more flowers coming. This is especially true with things like Coreopsis, and you actually want to pick it as much as you can. So I'm going to collect most of the flowers that I can today, and then I'm also going to grab some more seeds because I know my cosmos are easy to grab the seeds from. And also, I'm going to be keeping some of the blooms that are not quite as nice, let's say, and start doing some drying of those flowers that I can then use later in the year or next year. Today, let's go get all the blooms that look really nice, pluck them off, and then we're going to put them into the freezer themselves. Now, we're going to be using the help of ice, but I'm also going to freeze the flowers to give them an opportunity to also be a part of that cold extraction. So let's head down to the garden and get to freezing some of those flowers. So here are my two pieces of fiber, both silk, which is always easier to dye. I've got one that has been treated with aluminum acetate, only because, you know, I always have this around, but you could treat it obviously with alum sulfate on its own. And these are just the ribbons. I don't even know if I treated those. But then I also had some tannin treated bags. These were done with gallo tannin, so they're very light, slight color difference. And I figured, you know what, we need a little bit more fiber for the amount of flowers that I pulled, so we'll work on both of those. Now let's get them in water and soaking. Here they are. So beautiful. Would you believe these are all totally frozen? I mean, so cool. As a matter of fact, they're probably frozen to this wicker, but that's okay. So let's start bundling these up. We're gonna have just a little bit of some of these. I only had one Cosmo available, lots of Coreopsis, and of course these amazing Black Knight Scabiosa. I'm gonna go ahead and cut off these pieces so it's just the flowers. I'll probably remove some of the greenery here, and then we'll start building it all into the silk. So there's my first layer of ice. I'm just having something on the bottom to make it cool. I've put it in this strainer so that the liquid can bleed down as it dissolves into this bowl. So that'll pull the fiber out and allow it to melt away. Now I'm going to put in the combination of flowers and fiber, and we'll just mix it all up. Let's do a quick check on it. I can see color coming through. It's been sitting here for about 2 hours or so, slowly melting, but you can see certainly those scabiosa are gonna make their mark. Yeah, let's peek at this one, see if it's doing anything. I don't know about that one. Those are the geraniums. They don't seem to be doing much, but let's hold out, we'll see. They printed really well in steam and hammer, but they're holding on to their color in there. But we've got all those other flowers. We'll just let it keep working. All right, all of the ice is melted, and I actually let it just sit overnight. And there's a lot of color in there. I'm not sure that they all gave color, but definitely it looks like one of the stars is a scabiosa. And I'm actually going to keep these because I know they still hold color. So I can use them either in a dye pot or for another print of some kind. So these I'm keeping for sure. So let's go ahead and start pulling these out and see what we've got. We'll see, I'm trying to see. This is the one I wasn't sure was doing much, but I can now see that it did bring about that same purplish color that it did in the prints. Look at that. So pretty. It's actually actually like a print. Oh, wow. Okay, we got some really nice colors here. Okay, keep those guys. Beautiful. Look at all those colors in there. We've got some of that beautiful greenish color that comes from the Pincushion or scabiosa as well. This is the color I'm used to getting often, but it definitely came through on this. How pretty. Oh, look at that. Look at that orange. Wow. Oh my gosh. Look at that. That's so pretty. Yay. And you know those Coreopsis did their job. Got a few more of those. And, oh. So this one, which was the African daisy, didn't really do much of anything. That's interesting, right? Especially because it was a really great printer in some of the other ones that we did. Let's pull it all out and hang it to dry. There you have it, the results. We have our 2 pieces of silk that were mordanted with aluminum acetate, and our 2 pieces that were mordanted with the gallo tannin. And although it's hard to tell because of the way we built our thing, this was, I believe, maybe even on the bottom. It didn't get as many colors, but I think it just wasn't touching as many pieces, whereas this one actually was. But the difference that's really marked, I think, is the colors of the blues and the greens, although this does have a few in it. But these 2 pieces definitely picked up a lot more color. So look at that, so beautiful. And the Black Knight Scabiosa are amazing. That is truly the star in this one. We got some really nice oranges. I'm sure that was coming from the one Cosmos that we had, would be my guess. And then we've got our little ribbons here that look so cute, and they just got little flecks of color. So all in all, it was a fun thing to do, and I'm glad that I happen to have 2 different kinds of silk in terms of the pre-treatment of Mordant. Pretty remarkable difference between the kinds of mordants that you use. I think this is a great example to see, because silk is typically pre-treated with something in the aluminum sulfate family, and although you can add tannin, obviously, to a protein fiber, really the aluminum acetate that I happen to use in this instance was just a lot brighter and captured more of those colors. So test out different kinds of mordants and see what happens. A tannin mordant is fantastic, and it's really great for cellulose fibers, or if you want to avoid using metal salts, it's a great option, but it's different and results can be truly different. So I'm glad to have all 4 of them as nice examples, and they're gift bags. So I have something that I can give to friends, and it's handmade for me thanks to nature. So sitting out here on my balcony in the evenings during the warmer weather means I've been sitting across from all of my exhaust dyes. And it got me to thinking, what if we froze some of those exhaust dyes and tried one more ice dye technique by using frozen natural dye matter directly on the fiber. So I hope to see you next Friday when we get chilly again and try this 3rd way of working with ice and natural color. Have a wonderful week, and can't wait to see you next time here on Color Quest.